Welcome to the show, guys. Joined, as always,
by John
the
Kapora.
incorrigible John Kapora.
Hi.
Right? So, Kaladesh is nearly here.
Yeah.
Pre-release was Dynamite. We are now working our way down through each color and talking about some of the standout cards there as described by our pro players.
Yeah, so a bunch of our columnists on Magic.TCGplayer.com gave each card a grade for... Or they gave them 3 grades, actually. One for limited play, one for standard play, and one for modern play. So 3 grades. And we kind of took all the scores and took all their comments on each card. And now I'm going to play a little game with Ryan. So what I've got here are a bunch of pull quotes from our authors. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say who said it and the quote. And Ryan has to guess what the card was. And he killed it with the Artifacts one, did way better than I expected, and now he's had a whole weekend at the pre-release to play with them. So I think I have high hopes for this one. Let's get right into it. Okay, so for Limited, the 2 highest rated cards, there was actually a tie, and it was 2 Mythics, and we're going to go over the first one. Okay, Seth Manfield said, there are some very powerful 5-mana white creatures in Standard, and this is one of them.
This has got to be Cataclysmic Gearhulk.
This is Angel of Invention!
Or that.
Angel of Invention. So did you get to play with or against that card?
No.
Well, that's good because that card is probably unbeatable.
Wow.
It seems real good.
Okay.
All right, so the other... Obviously, the other one...
Gee, what's the other one?
Yeah. All right, Corbin Hostler said, excellent finisher in Standard and as unbeatable as expected in Limited.
Is that Cataclysmic Gearhulk?
It is! Hey! It is Cataclysmic Gearhulk. Raphael Levy also said about it, which this one would kind of give it away even more. Cataclysm on legs. I expect this card to be a blowout every time it's played. Tragic Arrogance didn't have a 4/5 Vigilance body to follow it up. Yeah, Cataclysmic Gearhulk. Did you get to play
that one? I did have in my pool, so I ran the table with that. I did very well.
Yeah, so that's an artifact. So you basically get to keep a creature and that.
Yep.
Yeah, that seems really good. All right, this was our highest ranked card for modern play, and Craig Westco described it as Wild Nicodle. Just the words Wild Nicodle and an exclamation point.
So this would have to be the Toolcraft Exemplar?
Wow, it is! Wow. Yeah, so that's a card I had in my deck. One game, I got to go turn 1 Toolcraft Exemplar, turn 2 Smuggler's Copter. My opponent was not super thrilled about that start, but that's okay. Adam Yurchik went on to talk about Toolcraft Exemplar a little bit. He said, this card offers a ton of power for a low cost. With First Strike, pushing it over the top is one of the best 1-drops ever.
Yeah.
It's a really low cost to get that 3 power going, and if you're already playing an artifact deck, it's going to get First Strike.
Absolutely.
Really good. All right. So Cataclysmic Gearhulk, by the way, our best ranked best ranked card.
Sure.
In white for Standard.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It's really good. Okay. So 3 commons got ranked for highest ranked limited common in white. So I'm going to go over the first one now.
These all share the same score, you're saying?
Yeah, the same exact score. Raphael Levy said, is the kind of common I love. There are a lot of enters the battlefield effects in this format, and this makes the creatures trigger again, and it nets you a card.
So this is going to be, is it Acrobatic Maneuver?
Yes,
like
wow! I can't believe how good you have the names of these cards. Yeah, that is Acrobatic Maneuver, which seems really good in this because there's a lot of...
Yes.
There's just a lot of comes into play effects, especially in white.
I agree, and it's a great, you can use it as a combat trick, you can use it almost as like a counter spell, right? If they're trying to kill your guy, you just dodge their removal, you can block and then save your guy, you can...
It's incredibly
so
versatile.
much, it's a real Swiss Army knife of a card, I like it a lot.
And it draws you a card. Unbelievable. Okay, Steve Rubin said about this next one, the stats are bad, but decent value potential with enters the battlefield effects. Quite good with Oaths, specifically Oath of Nissa. Could be playable alongside Thraben Inspector or Thalia's Lieutenant decks, even though it's a dwarf. So he framed this in Standard, but it's our highest ranked limited card for common.
Okay,
white columns.
So it would have to be Glint Sleeve Artisan then, maybe?
No, it's Aviary Mechanic.
Okay, all right, yeah.
It's the grizzly bear that bounces a creature back.
Yes.
So I had My second deck for the pre-release, I played this in Gonti, the Lord.
Yep.
The only rare I didn't steal with a Gonti was my opponent's Aviary mechanic to bounce my Gonti to play it again.
So good.
They were also mad at that deck. Both my decks were really, really good. I got very lucky. Okay.
Sure.
The third one, Corbin Hosler said about this common, solid combat trick with additional upside for artifact creatures.
So it's going to be built to last?
It is built to last. Nailed it.
All
right.
All
so
right.
we're almost batting 1,000.
Almost. Pretty close. Just that one little,
Yeah. So the thing I've been noticing also about like combat tricks in limited, as the removal gets worse and worse as like the years go by, because we don't have Doomblade anymore. Murder's now an uncommon. The best thing we have is like flatten and throttle, stuff like that. So you have to like, not only do combat tricks get better as removal, but they also are safer to play because the removal's worse. So combat tricks just keep getting better and better, and I think Built to Last is a little pushed. Indestructible on artifacts, which most things are artifacts. It's awesome.
Sure.
All right. So those are our 3 best white commons for limited. All right. Conley had a funny one to say about this one. He goes, that Cloudstone Curio synergy, though. Guess what card he was talking about? I'll give you a hint. It's a common. It's a common. I'll give you another hint. It's a 1/1.
I don't know.
It costs 2.
Man, a 1/1 for 2?
9th Bridge Patrol.
No, that guy. Yes,
I said it earlier. Yeah, because you get whenever anything leaves play, it gets big, and then if you just keep looping them, it's all right. Yeah. Well, that's it. That's all I got.
Wow, what a great note to end on.
Yeah.
I did so well. I mean, my whole lunch break was spent studying the white cards for this one. All right.
You were playing against Joe.
Some
you guys
great
were playing
cards
your
in there.
pre-release decks against each other.
If you're excited, you can still pre-order any of these over on TCGplayer.com. The real set will be out on Friday, so you got a few days left to squeeze in your pre-orders. Cataclysmic Gearhulk certainly should be on that list.
Yeah, Angel of Invention too.
Also, great choice there. What else can they find at TCG Player, John?
Well, if you go to Magic.TCGplayer.com, that's our Magic landing page. You can find all the articles by the pros that contribute to these. And their articles are awesome. They're writing about Kaladesh all the time. They've all got different takes on what archetypes are hits and what are misses, so you should definitely check that out. We've got a buy list to sell your cards. We've got a marketplace. You can buy cards. It's great. It works out wonderfully.
That's it. All right, so thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye, Internet.
Bye.